Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. We've reached summer solstice, the longest day of the year. The solstice is a name meaning sun standing still. And believe it or not, it's known as midsummer, although I swear summer hasn't really actually begun yet. And if you go to some places, it feels like the sun is standing still. After all, in Finland, the daylight's 24 hours, in Alaska, 22. And in much of the Northeast, it's 15 to 16 hours long, and, we love it. We like the light. We can do more. We see more. We fear less. So let's take a moment to mark the change in season and honor the summer solstice. Blessed are you, Lord our God, who guides the world, who makes creation, whose wisdom changes the times and turns the seasons. As long as the days of the earth endure, planting and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease. Blessed are you, divine presence, who blesses the years. And remember, Judaism in all of its prayers is based on intentions. And so we have to think about our intentions for each of the seasonal transitions, kavanot, letekufot. And for the summer solstice, it comes from the book of Malachi, a word that means angel and messenger. A day is coming that burns like a furnace. I will shine upon you who revere the name of the infinite, a sun of righteousness, with healing in her wings. Use the sun. This is the season of the sun. Use the sun to examine the things in life that are holding you back from realizing your dreams. Begin to enjoy its warmth. Live life to its fullest. The summer is Leo, the sun, the king or queen. Look for examples in your life of living and striving and being the best. Follow the examples you have. These examples are not just individuals. It's industries. It's countries. Take the world's favorite little country to hate, Israel. Follow them. See what they've done. Less than 80 years ago, there was no country. No army. People taken to slaughter like sheep. You had 7 Arab countries declaring war hours after its creation, but it survived. Because when backed into the corner, Jewish people with nowhere else to go fought for the freedom they were entitled to, just like at the Red Sea. And now the sun shines on that tiny little land. And they've taught you can take desert and make an oasis. You can take desire and create the products the world uses. You can take the great teaching of treating everyone the same and have a true society where all are actually equal. Is it perfect? No. But that's how the sun shines. Let's hope we use the sun and warmth and love of life to come together, as we do. So let's continue our journey to freedom as we gather, put away our differences, and form a like-minded group, a collective consciousness of seekers showing faith, any and all faith, because all faith is welcome, love, any and all love, because all love is love, a true chavura, fellowship as we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay. Even though together, we are individual in our approach, each connecting in his or her or their own way. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody, physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, any way at all to gather and share. From Psalm 133, the Hine Matov, come together. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Gam. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Gam. How good and how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. We support each other in this community, so let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Remember, friends, this is you setting aside just a little bit of sacred time in your own sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in, because we all believe in something. Even if you believe in nothing, that's your something. It's part of your kavana, your intention that you put out to the universe. It's your goodwill. Goodwill and intention are the roots of what you control, of what you can correct. It is your intention that sets in motion everything that occurs in your lives, my friends. Let's take some time now. Let's use that intention. Let's send some of that goodwill, some light, some healing out to whoever you know that needs it. Healing and renewals for everyone. Float through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know and for the souls and spirits of everyone you love. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people. It's for our pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the world. It is the tikkun olam. That's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. And a part of the healing of the world is when we send thoughts and energy for health and renewal and goodwill for everyone. They don't have to be sick. It's for those in our hearts and our minds. So let's all send energy out for people in need everywhere. Special thoughts and prayers always for those in need of assistance, because we pray for those who need prayer. We don't have to know them. We want health, recovery, good life for everybody around us and for those close to us. For Melanie and Danica. For Carson and the fairy godmother. For the one and only Leo, always busy, always thinking of family. Always there as a great example and teacher for me. For my friend Elizabeth, who I can't say enough about, for her caring and teaching. For Angela, Laura, Maria, Victoria, who always have such great questions for me. For dear Pal, who's always there for whoever needs him. For Daniel, who's the number on everyone he meets on his own healing journey. For Alan and Sherry and Corey. For Gabby. For Lorella, Shelley, Giggles and Lily. For Alana, who I hope to see soon. For Snoopy, the elf. For Roberta. For Inura and Winston, who I hope had an amazing birthday. For John and Fern. For John and Maria. Different John. Doria and Gloria. For Connie and Ronnie. Tally and Mayim. For Nina and her twin Linda. And Danny. For all those suffering and in need. Let's not forget to include all the familiars of our lives. All of our sacred animal friends everywhere. For everyone you know in need. For the whole world. And for Rosemary, who always knows she's special and always has a refuge of love waiting for her. Friends, it is the kindness, healing, wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out. It just circles the world finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care. Because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never dies. Me, Shabera, Avotenu, Makor ha-bracha, Limotenu. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. Renewal of body. Renewal of spirit. Let us say, not me. Misha Baruch, let us all have our spirits renewed. This is the great prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal as he has healed before. Pardon me, Misha Baruch, may he who blessed. Because all healing's a blessing. Let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, and to grow. Now, today's reading is very apropos given where we are in the world, and as we come up on the birthdays of the twin nations of Canada and the United States. And like all siblings, sometimes friendly, sometimes not. The U.S. had a successful revolution like the French. This week we read about a failed one, as we read Korach. Now, we all know who he was from the Ten Commandments film, except that was changed a little bit, where two separate rebellions were made one. Korah and Dathan combined into the Edward G. Robinson character. Now, Korah was Moses and Aaron's cousin. Maybe one of the first victims of fake news. Perfect example of history being written by the winners. He was a Levite. Dathan, a Reubenite. Each led a rebellion. What for? Not for power, but for freedom of choice for the people. Hey, what's wrong with that? Isn't that what we all want? The story of Korah is seen as the story of a failed rebellion. And it's a very interesting word. It connotes violence, uprising. Its flip side is revolution, which is viewed as a forcible overthrow which leads to betterment. We think of the French and the American revolutions, fights for freedom and independence, an end to tyranny. Words of meaning. The choice of words can sometimes win the war. In this reading, there are actually two rebellions that we're going to be reading about, and I'll use the word most used. Now, most people have an inkling of this story from the film, but it was far more than what was shown, and why. The Korah Dathan rebellion was portrayed by the actor known for his role as a criminal and thug. Right here, he's the Hebrew overseer or governor of the people, treating them with the full cruelty of the taskmasters, favoring self, material goods, and Pharaoh over his own people. You already have a predisposed idea of who he is. He rebels against Moses, forces Aaron to make the golden calf to lead the people back to slavery, and is then thwarted by Moses and God. It was brilliantly done in the film. I love it. I watch it every year. And then Moses comes down the mountain, sees the commotion, throws the 10 Commandments at the foot of the calf. The earth opens up and swallows the revelers. But that's not what the story really tells us. That's the artistic license of history and art. Numbers 16:1. And Korah, son of Izhar, son of Kohath, son of Levi, and Dathan and Abiram, sons of Eliab and On, son of Pelach, son of Reuben, took and got up in front of Moses. And 250 people from the children of Israel, chieftains of the congregation, prominent ones of the assembly, people of repute. They assembled against Moses and against Aaron and said to them, "You have much. Because all of the congregation, all of them are holy, and the Lord is among them. Why do you raise yourselves up over God's community?" Now, there's a definite unhappiness here. But this is not rabble. This is quite the pair of pedigreed individuals, a leading Levite and a leading Reubenite, standing up with chieftains, 250 leaders of the community, asking Moses why all power is in his hands. Now that's more than a reasonable question. This is a story that contains magic and solidification of position. It has the first real threat of insurrection, but it was actually a fight for rights for all. It's the story of two rebellions, one religious, one political, both in the service of the people, trying to stop an elite group from keeping permanent control. When you look at it like that, you begin to think the wrong people might have won. These were rebellions to fight for the right for everyone, not even to stop the power grabbing by the select group of elites, but to ensure that everybody everywhere had the same opportunity. I mean, that's all. Doesn't the law keep telling us we're the same and the same rules apply for all? Are we just reliving history? As the philosopher George Santayana said, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. The exodus from Egypt was the first mass revolt against fear. There's something happening, and the fear is becoming the dominant feeling in our society again today. Battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds, getting so much resistance from behind. I think it's time we start. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Well, you don't have to look to see what looks like open rebellion everywhere that we go now. Some people don't like some things and they want to see a change. We all want to see a change in our lives, progress to a more harmonious life. That's been going on forever. This is simply an early indication of rebellion and change. But what sometimes is confusing for people is in this reading, you have the two rebellions taking place and they're separate. And Moses deals with them separately, but we think of it as one against political structure and one against power of the religious structure. So one against Moses, one against Aaron, right? Brothers who have complete control from one family. And we see some great tests take place. We see the miracle of the staff of Aaron and, what it comes to represent. Like the Christmas staff in Glastonbury, if you've all gone, I hope you have. But of course, Aaron's rod and the Glastonbury thorn are believed to be from the same type of tree which was used to make the crown of thorns for Jesus. It's one of those great stories that perpetuates the tale of the Holy Grail. Well, Moses proposes a contest. Numbers 16:4. Moses listened, and he fell on his face, and he spoke to Korah and to all his congregation, saying, in the morning, the Lord will make known who is his and who is holy, and he will bring him close to him, and he will bring the one he chooses close to him. Many try to stop me, shake me up, in my mind. Say, prove to me he is Lord. Show me a sign. What kind of a sign they mean when it all comes from within? When what's lost has been found, and what's to come has already been. I just keep pressing on, pressing on. Well, I'm pressing on to the higher calling of my Lord. Now Moses sets up a test. Who's holy? To establish what it means to be holy in the priestly sense only, since after all the people are considered holy. It's purely for the priests. So it's not the general concept that the people are striving to be holy. This is a specific test, purely for the priest. Now the test will be through the use of incense, because only the holy, namely the priests, are permitted to burn the special incense. The korach group gets incinerated in the exact same fashion like Aaron's sons, while the Dathan Abiram group in the political battle gets swallowed by the earth, as we saw in the movie. Not an earthquake, but by the earth opening, swallowing, and closing again. Now the final cement of power comes in the form of the 12 tribal leaders, each providing a staff, and the staff that blooms will be the winner. Lo and behold, Aaron's staff wins, and will serve as the sign of power like the Egyptian crook and flail of the Pharaoh, and will be kept in the tent of meeting with the ark and will watch over them. We have this situation now where everything is cemented permanently in the hands of Moses and Aaron. Yes, my friends, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free. Honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light, and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, an end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we're a community. We learn together, we celebrate with each other, we love each other. We share this right together, men and women equally. Let's all send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive, learn to love, including yourself. Open your hearts, honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe, because we set in motion all that happens in our lives. It's our intention, our cabin, our cause, our effect. Everything's linked. Always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad, so acknowledge what you have done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged. Ask forgiveness. But always do so with sincerity, accountability, vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world, just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? Because if you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. Keep on dreaming, my friends. Keep on being, keep shining, keep sharing, keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear, follow love, because it's always in front of you. Work to be present in the body. Expand the heart, quiet the mind, because the deepest source of real power lies in consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all life circumstances. Love with your heart, because we're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger. Be there for someone, because someone will actually always be there for you, whether you know it or not. And continue to explore faith and belief and what they mean to you. Never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel, others have felt. Whatever you've experienced, others have too. Because we share together, we learn together, we help each other. Because we are, each of us, simply trying to find love, acceptance, support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives, so find them and tell them what they mean. You're never alone on your journey. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive, and keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. Listen to the voice of God as he talks to you, because he's talking to you all the time. And your connection to God and all that's been created in body and soul and spirit, it's a part of you, it's a part of me, it's a part of all of us forever. Enjoy the journey. We are still this wilderness generation. We are the ones who are forging a nation. We are the ones returning to a code of ethical laws, understanding the interconnectedness of all, and the reality we are forever blessed. And we all want to see the world change for the better. We have to get together in order to make that happen. You say you want a revolution. Well, you know, we all want to change the world. You tell me that it's evolution. Well, you know, we all want to change the world. But when you talk about destruction, don't you know that you can count me out? Destruction is not a solution. It never was. It never will be. Well, thank you for joining me, my friends. Keep sharing the light. Keep practicing forgiveness. Be thankful. Be gracious. Be kind. Be loving. And keep believing in yourself. Enjoy the sunshine. Spread a little goodwill to the world. Continue to be the miracle in someone else's life. Be an example of all you can be. Shabbat Shalom. Blessings to you all. Take care.